two people are having an interaction, and it's a man and a woman. Woman gets mugged in front of the man. He sees it happening, fucks around on his phone, walks away. There is zero empathy there.
Well, I mean, that's 90% of society right now. When you really think about it, how quick are people like, oh shit, they're fighting. Record this shit. World star. Like,
wow, there is a lot of lack of empathy happening.
Yeah, because we're taught to mind our own business and not get involved in other people's shit. People don't have empathy anymore.
No.
That falls into having morals and being brought up right.
Do you think that should just fall off the list then? Because it's so prevalent in today's society, there's no empathy?
No, I don't. I think that's a very, it needs to be a talking point.
Just answer the question.
Yes.
Do you have the skill sets?
Yes.
So you're trained for this job and all that. You get like what, 15.25 for an hour or something like that?
Yes, that is right.
Like, I understand that you probably don't have like important business or like your phone is important to you and stuff, because I can imagine like you have a life that's really like matters. But like I do, and my phone is super important to me.
What'd you have to say? Is there something you need to say to us that you want to yell out the window? What'd you say? F the police.
I'm sorry.
You're sorry. Get your hands out of your pockets. You want to fuck the police? Well, here I am, right here, brother.
I don't want to.
Why not? You're a tough guy. Come on. Then why you want to yell about it when you're in front of your buddies right there? Is it cool?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm giving you every opportunity to fuck me up. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to fuck the police?
I don't. I was being dumb.
How old are you?
17.
Bitch ass motherfucker. I ain't under your authority, motherfucker. I can stand where the fuck I want to stand in public.
Hey, man.
You sweet. You sweet, Zach. You need to sit out of here. You still hurt. Hey, 6'8". Your eyes wide open, boy.
Dude, you're lucky your mom's hot. Dude, if I end up back in rehab this season, it's all your fault. Did I seem wasted during tryouts?
Yeah, bring your motherfucking ass over here. I got a lot to say.
We're going to conduct this professionally, or we're not going to have an interview. You make the decision. What did you think about the fight?
I beat him. Everybody out there know I beat him.
At least don't hit me with it. Don't hit him with it. No, people said something about his mommy.
Why does RFK sound like that? How many packs of cigarettes a day do you have to smoke to even get to that level of throat pain? Like, you're trying to convince us that he's going to be the Secretary of Health? Doesn't seem very healthy to me. I support the measles vaccine. Spit it out, Grandpa.
This guy, I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
Females don't have independent thought. They don't come up with anything. They're just empty vessels, waiting for someone else to install the programming.
The loudest man in the room is the most insecure man in the room. That's why they put off so much flash and vibe.
Yeah, that old cowboy, he is right. You know, back in the day, back when I was growing up, we would have been laughing at a fella like Andrew Tate all day long. So guys, let's talk about empathy. Let's discuss exactly what it is. The Oxford Dictionary says it's the ability to understand and share the feelings or experiences of another. In layman's terms, it means just simply walking in somebody else's shoes, you know, understanding where they come from. What empathy is not is feeling sorry for somebody. You know, we can all be sorry and go, ooh, boy, they just went through something bad. But that's not empathy. That's sympathy, and there's a big difference there. You know, another thing empathy is not, it's going out to do some disaster relief, help somebody after a hurricane or a flood or whatever, and taking your film crew or your even your own personal cell phone and video and everything so that you can post it on your social media platform and make money off of it. That is not empathy. That's narcissism. Let's take a look at an example of what empathy is not.
Oh, look how big her shoes are.
Hello, darling. Hello.
What's your name?
My name's Arisandra.
Nice to meet you. How old are you?
I'm 11 years old.
You look so beautiful today.
Thank you.
Okay, so who are you here with today?
I'm with my mom, dad.
Okay, and what are you going to be doing for us today?
I'm going to be singing One Night Only by Jennifer Hudson.
Oh, good choice.
In this video, you know, we definitely see what empathy is not. I know it's a heartwarming video. Me and my wife have been watching these X Factor or America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent videos here lately. We enjoy watching these because they warm your heart, right? But as we can see from this video, the ladies, the two judges, the first thing they said was, you know, they were talking about her shoes. They were absolutely not showing any empathy for this little girl at all. So if they were going to show any kind of empathy or they were going to do anything nice for this little girl, they would have discussed, you know, oh, look at her raven hair. You know, look at her pretty smile. Look at her pretty pink dress that she showed up to this you know, competition with. A lot of these people go to the competition and they wearing some old blue jeans or whatever. They don't even make an effort, right? This little girl's dressed up in her best. Yes, she's wearing some oversized shoes because she probably, they're hand-me-down shoes. She borrowed them from somebody or they're from an older sister or what have you. And guys, I live in the Philippines and I see this is a common thing here. It's because, you know, she's poor. Her family's poor. And it's not a bad thing. It's just a way of life. But these two judges that had to mention her shoes as being the first thing they noticed about her is showing absolutely no empathy towards this little girl, her feelings. Now, later on in their interaction, they did show some sympathy maybe by, you know, praising her on her singing abilities or what have you. They were nice to her, but in my opinion, it was a fake kind of nice. They were showing absolutely no empathy towards this little girl whatsoever. And if you want to look at the big picture with this whole scenario and about this whole video clip, everything about this is absolutely wrong. Obviously, this was not a live competition. This was not filmed live. Because as the ladies are saying this comment about the little girl's shoes, the camera zooms in on the girl's shoes. This was a edited in interaction, right? Everything was edited in. And so think about this. This was a whole video production cast. That all the people involved in this whole production here are responsible for this. Not one person stopped for a minute and said, hey, wait a minute, you know, are we thinking about this little girl? Are we thinking about her family? Are we thinking about any of this stuff? Can you imagine when she's in her teenage years and she's watching this and everybody's just commenting about her shoes? That's the first thing they comment on, and they're going to make her feel self-conscious about that. They're going to make her parents feel self-conscious about that they weren't good enough to go buy this girl a brand new pair of shoes for the competition. No, they didn't think anything about that. The only thing they were thinking about was their ratings. That's it. And so it's a really sad, but it's a really good example of what empathy is not. And guys, I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, well, you're being a hypocrite because you're posting this video on your video and you're going to try to make money off of it. No, actually, that's not my intention. My intention here is to show that, you know what, the entertainment business is ruthless. And they don't think about other people's feelings. They're not walking in this little girl's big shoes. They're not doing that. If they had, they would have never done what they did. So how did we get here? Well, to make a long story short, it's advertising. It's money. You know, it's big business out there trying to get our business. They want us to spend our money with their particular stores or whatever. And so what they ended up doing was they took the psychological aspects that was used in video productions during World War II, you know, so that they would make these patriotic videos, right, during World War II to keep the American public supporting the war effort and all that good stuff, right? They figured out that, hey, this psychology stuff works. And what did they do? They integrated it into, you know, things like the CIA, psychological warfare, but also companies realized the importance of using this in advertising. And so everything that you see, you know, you walk into your local grocery store or whatever, and things are placed on the shelves for a certain psychological reason. Well, the same thing happened when it come down to television advertising and TV, you know, and newspaper advertising and magazine advertising. All the different kinds of advertising that you see, even now today, where advertising is done mainly on cell phones and laptops and things like that, right? They're still using those psychological warfare tactics to get their money out of your pocket. And that's the way they really look at it. And so, yes, that's how we have gotten here. And so how have they done that? Well, they've embraced this whole idea of individualism. Of, you know, it's the me society now. Everything revolves around me and I and everything else. It's not about us anymore. And so the result of that is we've become a very individualistic society worldwide. Guys, I live on the other side of the planet from the United States. I live here in Southeast Asia, and I live in a third world country. I live in a developing country. However you want to label it, it's still a very impoverished country. But I still see the same things in the same ideas being used here to do the same thing that's been done in the U.S. for years with advertising and all that. And I see the same result happening here. Here in the Philippines, you've got this whole very family-oriented society, or it used to be. That is now becoming a thing of the past. It's not like that anymore. Are they still more family-oriented than, you know, most Western societies? Sure, but it's not what it used to be. And a lot of it is a direct result of this psychological warfare, this advertising that we get worldwide now. And now that cell phones are available everywhere, social media is available everywhere, there is no place on this planet that is immune from this sort of psychological warfare. And so everybody, you know, this whole, you know, I'm the most important thing, this narcissistic attitude is becoming prevalent worldwide. You know, another result of the technological system that we have now, you know, all these advances in technology has made us also, you know, where we don't communicate anymore. We're seeing less and less and less of that. You know, probably 50 years ago, people used to go over to their neighbors and sit on the porch and talk and drink coffee or even drink a beer together or things like that. People used to go bowling and have these bowling leagues and things like that. That's a dwindling activity now. All these activities are quickly dwindling away. People don't interact that way. People used to sit and talk on phones that were tethered to the wall. Now we've got phones that I can get on my phone and I can talk to anybody in real time all around the world, and I can do that through video chat. But what's been the result of this technological advancement? The actual result is that people really don't talk that much anymore. They don't even communicate anymore. I can remember 10, 15 years ago, gee, we were all texting each other. You know, I would even pick up the phone and call somebody on occasion, right? I can literally go several days without getting a text from anybody, except for advertisers, right? Or scammers or something. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can tell that same story, right? We just don't communicate with each other. And a lot of that, I think, is the direct result of this whole me and I society that we live in, this narcissistic attitude that we live in. Well, we just don't even care about talking to our neighbor because life evolves around me, right? I don't have any interest in talking to my neighbor. And so another reason that empathy is no longer prevalent in world society anymore is that empathy has become really looked down upon. You're considered weak if you have empathy towards your fellow man. And I'm not sure how to, pinpoint how we've come to this point, but I call it the WWE or the World Wrestling Entertainment mentality. And so here you go.
When last year I spent more money on spilt liquor in bars from one side of this world to the other than you made. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
And so, guys, here, in this video, you've got Nature Boy Ric Flair. A lot of you guys are probably too young to even know who he is, but he was one of the top dogs back in the '80s whenever I was a kid growing up, right? But here's the deal. We used to watch WWE or WWF or CWC, whatever it is. We used to watch that for entertainment because we knew it wasn't real wrestling, right? I hope a lot of you guys realize that's not real. It's fake. It's all entertainment. And you can almost tell by the smirk on Ric Flair's face, he's just blowing smoke. He's just talking trash. He's trying to be funny here. It's all for entertainment. But it's almost like we have taken his persona here and we've made that popular. Like, that's cool now. That's cool to be the rich guy. It's almost like Andrew Tate took it for heart and now he's become this guy or whatever. I don't know. I really can't wrap my head around this because, back then we all knew it was just fake stuff, but it's like now this attitude has entered into our society and it's become prevalent. You are made to feel weak if you have any kind of empathy towards your fellow man. Now again, in that opening video, the couple were sitting there talking about how, the lack of empathy in the world is going to become a serious problem. So let's talk about how it's going to become problems for everybody. Well, the first one is pretty obvious, and this is something that we see worldwide, y'all. It's not something that is indicative of the United States or the Western world. It is something that we are seeing worldwide, and that's people's mental health is deteriorating in a bad way. Well, why is that? Well, I think this is my theory, my layman's theory. Who am I? Who am I that you should listen to me? Well, I'm a nobody. I'm not an expert in any one field. I'm not a psychologist. I can just kind of give you my opinion based on my experience in life and the things that I've seen, but this is my theory. My theory is that we now have this, I'm the most important person everywhere. I don't have anybody else that's equally important to me. I have no reason to worry about anybody else. And so now what have we all done? We've become isolation. We've become recluse. And that isolation is a mental health killer. We've all seen the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks, right? Where he's stuck on a desert island for an extended period of time, and how he goes through his struggles with mental health because of the isolation. There's television series out there, and I forget the name of it, where they put them off in the boonies of Alaska or something like that, and they've got to survive out there by themselves, isolated by themselves. And it's not the elements that usually take these people out of the game. That's not what usually hurts them. A lot of people are survivalists. They can find food, they can find shelter, they can do these things. But it's the isolation is what kills these people. It puts them out of the game, right? And the same thing is happening to people all over the world to the point where they are taking themselves out of the game, right? And so, yes, that is a big thing. It's a big factor. This whole, isolation that we get from having no empathy towards anybody else and not even communicate with anybody else. It isolates us from the rest of the world, our communities and everything else. If we don't have empathy towards anybody else, if we don't even think about, the guy standing in front of us in line at the grocery store and they're, what's going on with them, or, the person working the other side of the counter that's cashing you out at the 7-Eleven or whatever. If we don't have any kind of empathy towards that person and we can't walk a mile in their shoes or put ourselves in their situation, how do we ever expect somebody to do that for us when we need it? It goes both ways, right? Everybody's going to go through some stuff in their lives, but if I'm not having any kind of empathy towards anybody else around me in my world, how do I expect for somebody else to have any kind of empathy towards me? We're seeing a lot of that right now with what's going on in the United States with some parts of the economy. People have lost their jobs that they thought were going to be there for, their career and all that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of people out there just because of the way they voted that have no empathy for those people. Well, what happens when you lose your job because of a different reason? Do you want those same people that you have no empathy for to not have any empathy for to you too? Or to try to help you? Or at least even listen to what's going on with you? Because it could happen to any of us, right? Now, another way that this lack of empathy in the world can be a problem, and it can be a problem for societies all over the world, is divisiveness. Guys, I get it. There's a lot of political tension going on in the world, and if you're an American and you think it's just happening in the United States, well, no, you're wrong. It's happening everywhere in the world. There's like this concerted effort all across the Western world especially, where they're trying to keep populations divided and conquered. It's been said many times, many places, even in the Bible, a house divided against itself cannot stand, right? And so how do we expect to ever come together as communities, as groups of people, to solve a communal problem together? And guys, I'm not talking about, we all need to become red communists and things like that. I'm just talking about the simple things of life, right? Just say in your own community, let's say in your own neighborhood. Let's say that, I don't know, we've got problem XYZ that comes in to the neighborhood. This could be a million and one different things. And it's something that, we rely on the city government that we're going to need them to take care of. Let's say it's crime, or let's say it's a sewage issue or something like that, right? Well, if the local government decides to, hey, let's do this. We don't want to spend the money on this project. Let's get these people fighting against each other, and maybe they'll forget about this sewer project, or maybe they'll stay off our tail ends about the police not patrolling their neighborhoods or something like that, And so that's what they do. They start a fight. It's not too hard to rub two dogs' noses together and get them to fight, right? We've seen that. And that's what's going on in our political environments all across the world, guys. It's not just the United States. It's all over the world. We've got political divisiveness everywhere. And so we can't get anything accomplished. Let's go back to that little neighborhood or whatever, where we need a new sewer duct or whatever, or sewer line because the one we have is dilapidated, it's old and everything, and so we need the city to go take care of that. If we're all fighting against each other about what needs to be done, then nothing gets done. But if we all come together and we're like, okay, I get it, this sewer doesn't affect me and my house, but the next sewer line collapse could affect me and my house, my household. So I need to be empathetic towards my neighbor because theirs is being affected right now. They've got sewage backing up in their house right now. I need to be empathetic towards that. And so I need to support them in that, in their efforts. And so I jump on the bandwagon with them. And then all of us in our neighborhood and our community, we all get together. We can make some things happen with the municipality going in and fixing some things, right? But you know, we can't do that if we let the city leaders or let, you know, the powers that be keep us divided and conquered to where we're fighting each other over stupid things. You know, nothing's ever going to get done. But that's exactly what's going on all over the world right now. And so this is how a lack of empathy, lack of understanding, a lack of putting yourself in your neighbor's shoes can definitely affect everybody. It can affect, and it can affect you later on down the road when you're the one that's at need. And so guess what? People are going to remember, oh, you're the guy that said, oh, we shouldn't do this. Now you're the one that has the sewer problem. You've got poo backing up in your house. Well, you didn't want to be there whenever I needed the help, so am I going to be there for you now? No. And that's how petty we can be. That's that lack of empathy in this world, and that's how detrimental it can really be. But if we all get together and we stop letting people divide and conquer us, and we can learn to communicate with our neighbors again, whether it's on these devices here that, you know, I can communicate on the other side of the planet with for free with a video chat, maybe I should use that device, this device for that instead of playing video games or something like that. I don't know what people do with them, you know, scrolling the TikToks. Maybe some things can get done in this world, and maybe some good can be done in this world. Because really, when you look at it, the majority of people in the world are all in the same boat. You know, the majority of people in the world are workers. They're workers, they're out there trying to, if they're not workers, they want to be workers. They want that job. They're all out there trying to support their families. They're trying to support themselves. And the majority of people out there in the world are in that boat. So why are we fighting each other whenever it comes down to this? And so guys, I'm going to get off my soapbox about it, but what I want to do is leave you with this. This video, yeah, it's another X Factor or America's Got Talent. I can't remember which one it is. Oh, I think it's Britain's Got Talent is what this one is. But I want you to watch this video clip, and I want you to see how beautiful things can be when people in a community just get together and they make things happen. They put their differences aside and they make things happen. So guys, I'm going to close out with this. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I'm going to leave you with this video, so enjoy.
We are John's Boys male chorus from a village in North Wales called Rhos Llanach Rhugog.
I know it. So you get together, what, once or twice a week?
We rehearse on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
And rehearsing in a cow shed. Just to see two-legged people is marvellous, all these people.
Okay. Do you think you can win?
100%.
Okay, right. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Come on, be good.
Didn't know that I'd fall so hard. Then my feet left the ground. Gravity don't make no sense when you're around. come up against myself when demons in my head get loud. I don't know how you do it, but you turn them down.